You came back! Yay! So, as you probably realised from watching Michelle's post on Monday and from everything that's going on in the blogosphere, this week is anti-bullying week. Now initially when Michelle broached the topic, I thought, fantastic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some of my favourite picture books, things that I use to spark discussions with my own children. So we've got things like being true to your own beliefs and finding your own music, finding your own style, enjoying the things that you enjoy, talking about disabilities and how people are people, and having some consideration for disabilities and how everyone deserves to be loved, and about being different but being the same. And I was going to talk to you about how, as a parent, I use literature with my children to explore cultures and circumstances and lifestyles that they may not have come across, how we nurture their curiosity, but we can explore it in a safe place. And how, as a parent, one of my focuses is helping to mould two adults that are going to be accepting and tolerant and provide a contribution to our society. And I made notes, lots and lots of notes about which books I wanted to share with you, why I wanted to share them with you, my thoughts on bullying, how to prevent bullying, about building up my children's self-esteem. And then it got personal. Compared to some of the stories that you're going to hear over Anti-Bullying Week, it is pretty minor in the great scheme of things. But this happened to my little girl, and so for me that makes it huge. What happened is my fun-loving, confident, chatty, outgoing, bright, funny little girl came up to me one morning not wanting to go to school. Virtually at the point of tears, because some of her friends had been making fun of her at school because of this. So her friends had been laughing at her because she had a boy lunchbox. I have to say I was a little bit shocked. I mean, we're talking about 6-year-olds here, and already they've got such strong formed opinions about what is masculine, what is feminine, what a boy is allowed to do, what a girl is allowed to do. And I suppose maybe I was a bit naive. I wasn't expecting to have to face this particular battle just yet. I just tried to explain to my daughter that as long as she's not hurting anybody, that she is entitled to enjoy what she enjoys, that she should love what she loves, and that nothing is a boy thing or a girl thing. Yeah, so instead of my original post, where I was going to look at different books that helped us explore the variations within society, talk about the different books that look at sexuality and non-traditional home life and disability, I'm just going to focus on gender. Just realised that there's actually a sticker on the cover of this book. Not one that comes with it, one that's just been added, decoration from my children. I'm going to have to sort that out later. So, anyway, the first book that I want to share with you is actually a book that I remember from when I was a child. I know, ancient. And I actually re-bought it specifically for this situation to share with my daughter and also to share with you for the post. And it's called Bill's New Frock by Anne Fine. So it's an oldie but a goodie. And the reason that I got this book is because basically Bill wakes up one morning to find that everyone thinks that he's a girl. And he knows he's not a girl. But nevertheless, through his adventures of a day at school wearing a frock, he comes to learn about how boys and girls are treated differently. From the adults around them to the children's own perceptions of them, how he is limited by his gender, how attributes are given to him based on the gender that he is portraying by wearing a dress. I actually just reread it because I wanted to have another look at it before I shared it with my daughter. And I've forgotten how absolutely amazing this book is. Yeah, on the one hand it's great because it looks at gender and gender stereotyping, but it also looks at not judging people by their appearance and what they're wearing. So I have two books that I've shared with my daughter, but that's not to say you can't share with your son too. The first book that I've talked about before on Big Book Little Book is The Princess Who Had No Kingdom. Now, I absolutely adore this book. It is a beautiful, non-traditional fairy tale. The illustrations in here are absolutely stunning. They're so detailed. They have an almost like a paper cut feel about them. But every time you look at this book, you find something different within the illustrations. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. The main reason, though, that I love this book, please excuse the additional child added decoration. The main reason that I love this book is that the princess who has no kingdom, she knows herself, she knows her own mind, she doesn't bow down to the opinions of other people, and although she meets her handsome prince, she's not defined by him or defined by her relationship. And at one point in the story, it looks like there isn't going to be a happily ever after. And you know what? She's alright with that. She's sad, but she's going to suck it up and she's going to get on and she's going to live her life because she doesn't need a man. The second book that I love to share with my daughter, just to help with the princess stereotype, is The Worst Princess. Now, she thinks this is absolutely hilarious. This is about Princess Sue, and Princess Sue is sick of waiting around for the prince to come and rescue her. She doesn't see why she should sit there while wearing pretty dresses, and the princes and knights should go out and have all the fun and slay the dragons and generally have a good old time of it. So she decides she's not going to stand for that anymore. So her and the dragon team up and they go on adventures of their own. So those are a couple of books that I've enjoyed with my daughter, that although they still run along the theme of princesses that her and her friends seem to enjoy, they just push the stereotypes a little bit and just make her think outside the box. And also just reinforce to her that she's just as capable of slaying dragons as any boy, and she's just as capable of living her life with or without the happily ever after that Disney likes to portray. I would still love to share with you the titles I was going to previously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some links down below with the Goodreads pages of the books that I intended to share with you originally as part of this post. I'm also going to leave a link for a website for the Anti-Bullying Alliance. They have an absolutely fantastic resource section. They have some wonderful lists of books for any situation, but books that address things like gender, sexuality, disability. So there's some fantastic resources there to take a look at. Anyway, thank you for listening and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye!